Well, that must be the definition of dog-tired. Now, do you remember a few weeks ago I bought some American HO auto racks? And I made mention that Rails of Sheffield, a well-known English second-hand and new retail shop, had a rather expensive £89.50 plus £7.50 postage. They had a pair. One was Norfolk and Southern. They're the Athern, I believe. They also had an Atlas one, also at £90, best part of. And I'd managed prior to that to pick one up for, I think, £54. And then I'd obviously acquired a few of those other ones at £30. So, what would I have in these big long boxes? And did I spend £89? Times 2. So as you can see they're a good size. I'll put it up against a yard length of flex track. Obviously they're not assembled, but I have literally just unpacked them. One was in 2 lots of bubble wrap, one was in, and I've just put a little bit of tape on the edge of that cardboard box there just to save it. So what we have is these are the later articulated style where they share one bogie, a bit like some of the English coaches. And they'd finally come to their senses, realising that this is dead money and no one was going to pay £90 for them. Now I did look, and now I think Walmart in the US was selling them for about $87 at one stage, so asking more than that in pounds sterling for second hand is a bit of a wee take. But then this is Rails we're talking about, and they're quite good at wee take prices. So they dropped them by 40%, which put them at a much more realistic price. And I know that when they do big drops on their items, they do not accept best offers, even though that option is still on the advert. So I bought not this one, but this one. The reason being, it's conveniently covered by the foam pad, because it's a Norfolk and Southern unit. It was the only one they had, and I bought this one first. I wasn't going to buy the other one because I thought, well, I've got those others, and I was going to buy another twin set if the other guy puts his ones up, which would have been about the same sort of money, about £60ish. And I hummed and hawed, and I saw 7 people watching them, and I thought they're probably all thinking like me, they're not going to get any cheaper. So about a day and a half afterwards, I think there was 30 minutes left of the offer. I thought I'll sod it and bought it. I was going to buy some Heathcote detectors as well, but after research, and they weren't really suitable for what I wanted, so I just bought the other set of these. They've both turned up at the same time, ironically, so that would have been nice if they'd have refunded me one of the postage charges. Would have been an even better bargain. So I suppose I better stop waffling on and get one out of the box and have a look. So what you do is you put the 2 halves together. One's got a smaller locking pin, then the other one goes inside, and then the centre piece goes underneath, and you screw the bogie wheel truck into it and then attach it all as one unit, and so it's just an articulated pair, so you only get 3 wheel sets. So obviously that saves them some money, and the vehicles obviously drive right through. I think these ones were designed to be 2 decks because they're for carrying minivans and SUVs, you know, the bigger trucks and stuff. So you can see there's quite a bit of detailing. The brake lines, air hoses, through the pistons and reservoirs, go through and come across and duplicate the other side. Looks like whoever had these going to have to replace them. Oh, no, the coupling is still there. They've took the trip wires out or cut them right off. I don't know, they're plastic ones, so I guess they're probably AccuRail ones, or like the plastic ones. I'll probably have to replace those. I'm not too worried about the trip wires being missing on these, because they won't be unhooked, I don't think, in a conventional manner. So the other ones are exactly the same as this. It's just got the TTX logo on them rather than the Norfolk and Southern. So there's a little bit of detail. I'll flip it round on the rail and come back. I'll put the light on just to aid us. As you can see, some of the detail in there at eye level. They're all separately fitted rungs on the ladder rails and the hand grips, grab irons. There's all the written paraphernalia, which unfortunately this camera won't quite pick up, but it is all fully legible. This is one of the sort of higher specification quality models. Again, data plates and such like there. This little sort of bellows arrangement, coach connector like the is actually a rubber. There's a plastic shell inside it, like a U shape. And then this outer piece is flexible rubber, so obviously that will keep everything concealed as it's going round a bend. I think the caveat with this, I don't know whether they've got it on the little bit of paperwork here. No. The radius that these will go round, the minimum is 22, recommended for effect is 24. But obviously you can see all the detail and hand marks there. The panels look like they're hung on. You know, if you did a little bit of pin wash on these to bring out, they would look even better. And these sections here almost look like they're able to move, and we've got this separately detailed part here, which I guess is some kind of chain brake by the looks of it that goes through with a rod mechanism. So yeah, they're quite nice, and by the looks of it, no signs of any damage, wear and tear. I didn't check the wheels, but looking at them visually from here, these haven't done a lot of work on anyone's railroad. So I won't duplicate this with showing you the second one, because it's exactly the same. But yeah, they're not cheap. I guess it's cost me about £61 for each set, so you know, £30 for each bit, although you can't buy these as a separate item. But when you sort of consider it against other equivalent rolling stock, American or British, then I suppose £30 isn't too bad. I mean, depressed centre Dapol silver bullet wagon is £33, so these are not too bad, I guess. So I'm going to have a look at the other one, but I'll bore you no more for this segment. Well, I bought a box of Junkers, HOUS. I think the guy might have chucked the stuff in the box because, like, you know, it's damaged anyway, so who gives a you know what. So it's a little bit more of a kit form than it started, but nothing too dire, and most of it was damaged anyway, so yeah, this came in extra parts. Not that I'm particularly bothered, because obviously I don't run an era where cabooses are required. But you know, I sort of found this lying around in the box in between the wrapping. It's almost as if it's like, you know, you emptied a drawer and the contents went in the box along with the packaging. So we've got bits of coupling, the wheels are missing off of that anyway, but I thought, well, if none of you want to put a dibs on it, I will chop that piece off and take the trucks off, weather the hell out of it, and maybe have it in someone's backyard or someone living in it, or you know, depending on what scenes I create, you know, it could be an old mess room for workers or something. But my eye was caught on the job lot because we had some tank cars. They're in need of a little bit of TLC. They look like they've rolled down a ravine, so I've got to make new handrail, bracketry, get some of that brass wire I was on about, and make the safety bar. There's two of those, a bit sad really because they're nice, but as you can see we've got bits all over the place. So yeah, some fine wire and material making, because I doubt I'll be able to find any kind of stanchions that will do this work. But yeah, nice wheel trucks and wheels. Couplings are knackered. Totally obliterated on that side, but yeah, it's nothing that a bit of plastic card and some fine wire and some painting and some patience won't fix. I have got a few bits of the railing, but I will probably think they're plastic, I don't know. Might be brass, but that'll give me a measurement to buy some wire to make some bits up. But the sort of main bits, are like the end pieces, are still intact. The little grab handles, the bars there, so the bits that the worst could happen to are still undamaged. There's a step there folded round, but again I can make some out of metal. I might, well, these aren't going to come apart because obviously I could lose the BNSF logo and rebrand them. We also finally got a gondola, CNN one, probably a bit of an earlier time, very basic one, but nevertheless it's got weight in it, made in China, who would have thought. And yeah, again, probably candidate for some new couplings. And we got a box car. This is probably the one that's in the best condition, I don't think. Steps are there. We're missing one wheel, but then we've got those ones there. Two laminated weights inside, so plenty of weight. Sliding doors. Obviously it's a bit older than my period that I'm sort of generally going for, but as I've said, you know, they'll run on the rails just the same as anything else, and if not, I'll just sort of wait until I've got a collection of these and then put them on and sell them on Fleabay. So what did I pay for this pile of junk? Well, let me tell you that in the pile of junk, in the wrapping, as I said, it looked like someone had just emptied the drawer. Inside the box was a bit of a train tech signal. I've got the base. I think that's the top of the signal. Although we've got the little pin piece and the surface mounted LED for a 2-aspect signal. We've got the head, we haven't got the back piece. And I've got the kits. Obviously with the kits you get the whole strip has all of the variation of models on, so that is quite handy. And it looks like a Pico ballast or something else. It's not a kit one. Yeah, so we've got, it fits on the rails, bit of white tack, and I don't know what this is, could even be some sprues or something. So it looks like the guy probably bought a job lot of rubbish and just emptied the box. So, not too bad. £5.50. I don't think that's too bad, is it? If I take the wheel trucks off of these, they're worth that. So, yeah. It'll give me some little projects.